Okay. Okay, we're here. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the big show. Nice to have you here tonight. Today's date is April the 24th, 2023, and it's our last show from Palm Desert, California. This is the last
2023
one.
and
I hate to say it, it's killing me, but it's official. Today is the last day, the last Monday from this location. We're heading back to Calgary, and next Monday I'll be on the air from Calgary. I don't know where from in Calgary. I have one of two locations apparently I'm doing my show from, and what can I say? It's been a wonderful time here in the desert. We got here last year, December, right through Christmas, right through Jennifer's hip operation, right through her recovery. Here we go. She's doing great. We're looking forward to our travel future kicking back into gear again. I tell you, we're back, baby. It's fantastic. But yes, all good things must come to an end, and we have to say goodbye to these mid 90s and 102, 103 temperatures later this week. We have to say goodbye to that because we're going to be in Calgary for the next little while. The good news is that even today, Calgary did hit 60 degrees, but when we get there, it'll be 72, 73 degrees. So, not that it'll stay there, but at least it's touching the low 70s. And that's at least a heck of a lot better than where we were 2 weeks ago. Because Calgary 2 weeks ago, high 30s, low 40s for the high. Definitely spring and summer weather is coming up north. Thank goodness for that. We need it. So goodbye to the desert. Hello, Cowtown. And from there, we will plot our strategy for our next adventure. And we are doing a lot of plotting right now here, Jennifer and I, because Jennifer's hip has come through beautifully. It's stronger every day, stronger. The flexibility is fantastic, better than her bad hip. Her new hip is better than the old one. Her physiotherapist has told her that your new hip is stronger than your old hip ever was. You can do anything you want. It's just a matter of building your stamina back up, which Jennifer is really working on. About a month and a half, 2 months ago, just in the beginning of her physio recovery, she was able to handle 10, 15 minutes of physio work. About a month ago, she was at 20, 25 minutes. Now she's at 45-minute workouts. She's doing 45 minutes of physio workouts every morning to strengthen her leg, her hip, everything. And it is making a difference just in everything. And that you folks know exactly what I'm talking about. When you start recovering from one injury, the rest of the body responds, and the entire unit just gets stronger and better. So yeah, Jen is improving immensely, and we now really know that the chances are that Jen will not need a second hip operation, her other hip, this year. It's possible that we might be able to go a year or longer before she even has to worry about the other hip being looked after. And so she's living that pain-free life now. First time in a long, long time, and we're getting stronger every week. So we are planning and talking about traveling, and boy, I can't wait for that to happen. Um, we have got a lot of possibilities going on, including uh, some serious talk right now about the idea that next winter we will not even be in North America next winter. We might literally be in Australia and New Zealand for the winter time next year, which is their summer. And I'll tell you, that's a bucket list for us, no question about it, to be able to travel down there. We are looking at all kinds of possibilities starting late August for perhaps another European trip in the late summer, early fall, and then perhaps a trip to down under with a few stops on the way down and on the way back. We'll see. Lots to surmise and think about. We got I'm into research mode right now. I really am. I'm into deep research mode as to what exactly our possibilities are, what our options are, and what would work for us. Because we're going to be 68 by the time we get there. We're not 25-year-old backpacker hiker type kids, so we're out. We're out of that game. That is not our kind of vacation coming up. We're not interested in camping in the outback, nothing like that. Not looking to hike on any mountains or anything like that. So we're going to see what kind of a trip will work for us and give us what we would like, and stay away from what we don't want, and go from there. So yeah, I'm pumped up, and Jen is really happy. Our daughter Jennifer Jr. Came down here last week, and spent 3 days with us. She's popped off for a 3-day getaway with her guy, and they're returning tomorrow for 3 more days with us to finish the bookend of their holiday. And Jennifer Jr. is thrilled with how well her mother is doing. Just thrilled, because she was here for the operation and the first 3 weeks of recovery. And now she's seeing her 3 months after surgery and is going, whoa, have you ever improved? Oh my God. And so now she sees for herself just how well Jennifer is coming along. We're looking forward to returning in one way to see relatives and friends, and they can see for themselves the improvement of Jennifer's condition. And, we'll see how things work out from there. So welcome all of you to the channel here, Traveling with Bruce, who's about to start traveling again. Yay! COVID is over. Jennifer's got a new hip. A few things have had to happen before I can get going here. I tell you, we are gearing up here. Thank you for popping in from around the world. Thank you for saying hi to me. Let me know what temperature is in your neighborhood. What's the price of gas where you live? Great to have you here. I know some of you have been on cruises lately. Some of you are about to go on cruises. A few of our viewers are on cruise ships right now as we speak. So the travel season has kicked in, and it's happening. I have Diane Flowers here saying that I am the thumbs up number 8 for you today, Bruce. Thank you so much, you folks, throwing the thumbs up button out there. If you can hit that thumbs up button, that would be a great thing. We hit 100 every week. We get 100 thumbs ups every Monday because of those of you watching live and those who are here on the rerun. It's stunning and it's gratifying. I thank you so much. If we can get 100 thumbs ups every week, we get recommended by YouTube to other viewers who want to know what's going on in the travel world. So this is fantastic. Jeannie is in the house. How you doing, Jeannie? Hello, Bruce and all TWBers. Bill and Jeannie are here for the big show. We're having a cool streak here right now. A real spring. Average temperature should be in the low 70s now, but we're going to be in the 60s all week long. Welcome to the two of you from East Tennessee. It's great to have you both with us tonight, as always. Sharon is in the house. Good evening, Bruce and TWB family. I'm tonight's second thumbs up. I'm not bogged down with work like I was last week. Welcome, Sharon. Tim Bowman, greetings all from a partly sunny Seattle where it's 55 Fahrenheit. And gas is $5 a gallon for regular right now. Took a big jump here last week. Embarking in less than a month on our British Isle cruise on the Regal Princess. Nice. Number 10 on the thumbs up meter. Thank you, sir. Ms. M. Hello, Bruce. I am number 14 tonight. Donnell from Cork, Ireland is in the house. Hi, Bruce and all TWBers. I am number 10 tonight. You too, Tim. Tim Bowman. Donnell, it turned number 10 when I clicked. Donnell, Tim Bowman, I got you. Tim, we're expecting 70 Fahrenheit this week, finally in Seattle. Kevin Chapman, the author, is in the house. Nice to see you, Bruce. Spring is here. Spring be here, but chilly again in central New Jersey. Heat and air conditioning alternating in the evenings. Best to Jen on her recovery. Did she enjoy Dead Winter? Thumbs up number 22. I will ask. I'm pretty sure I'm darn sure she saw it, read it. But I got to check with her because there's been so much else going on. Sharon, please tell Jennifer that we're thrilled about her recovery. Brittany Anderson, hello, Bruce and everybody. Mario and I are listening in. Fantastic. Sharon, COVID isn't over. We're going to have to test before our kids' August wedding as per the wedding invitation. Sharon, 28 thumbs up, 72 to go. They're coming in, Bruce. Ann Rogers, hello, everybody. 27 thumbs up is my number. Chili at 5 Celsius. Gas is one. Is it 185 a liter? What's it really? Sharon, please forgive me if this comes up last week, but what are your thoughts about Royal Caribbean's changes announced last week? Remind me of those because they have been just non-ending here. Louise, hi Bruce. I was shopping at Costco and I left some food for you. I picked out some new glasses. We can tell here in the desert when we now go out, the mass exodus of the snowbirds has happened, continues to happen. It is no mistaking it. We were in Costco on Saturday this week, and there's a particular area, the parking lot we usually look for to park our car. And up until 2 weeks ago, we would take our chances to see if we could find a spot. And of course, a few months ago, it was imperative to find a spot close to the front door for Jennifer so she could walk in holding my elbow, and then we would get her a motorized cart, or she would hang on to the shopping cart for dear life and use that as her walker. Now, one, we don't need any of that at all. We just park the car and we both walk in independently. But the parking area now, it's out of the 25 slots that we usually are shopping for, there are now 10 openings, even on a Saturday. So the exodus has happened from the desert, and things have really calmed down around here. And so I'm really happy about that. I'll tell you. Thank you for that. Thank you, Louise, for being here. Robert Blend, hello, Bruce from sunny Boston. I'm going to Bermuda next month on the NCL Pearl. Also going to Amsterdam and Berlin this summer. Oh, that's going to be awesome. Glad to hear Jen is doing well. Robert, that's going to be great, man. Have a fantastic time. Bermuda and then Berlin and Amsterdam. Oh, that's going to be awesome, man. That really will be fantastic. Sharon, first of all, you can't cancel on Royal Caribbean now unless you test positive for COVID 5 days before a cruise instead of 14. Interesting changes there. Nikki, hello everybody, and greetings from Jacksonville, Florida. It's 69 degrees right now and drizzly mid 80s for the coming weekend. That's what's happening there. Interesting changes being done on the COVID front. I guess the cruising thing. The cruise lines are going to obviously slowly but surely become more restrictive for cancellations, money back, or anything like that, future credits. Because if they can get to 110% occupancy levels, if they can push it up that high, then they can start playing tough guy. They can start saying, you're not doing too well. Well, if you have cancellation insurance, you can get your money back. Otherwise, you're SOL. We don't have to give you your money back anymore. They may play that. As Sharon saying, but they say that you can be thrown off a cruise or not be allowed to reboard a ship if you seem sick during the cruise. Yeah, interesting how it's funny how they happen to have medical staff available for that kind of thing. But when you hurt yourself, you pay through the nose to get any kind of treatment. Interesting stuff going on out there. Some news that I got today, I'll go into in here just a second. Sharon, how likely do you think they're going to take passengers off a trip? How likely do you think they're going to do that? If they're coughing up a lung or something less severe? What kind of insurance should we have for a cruise? I tell you, the thing that worries me about insurance on a cruise now is those rates have gone up dramatically. And I kind of wonder, with all of the exemptions and all of the ways they can deny you coverage for any kind of, in some cases pre-existing or what have you, I don't know if the insurance is worth the paper it's printed on in many examples. It is becoming worse and worse for people to get any kind of decent insurance. I could imagine, though, that some of you who travel and are using certain credit cards, you have insurance built into your credit card contracts. You may have better protection there than what you can buy. Although I would have to say, though, it would make sense if you if you were able to contact someone like a mortgage broker, a professional insurance shopper, that might be the best way to get insurance, like travel insurance, car insurance, house insurance, because these pros can find the companies that have the more um, flexible insurance policies. I don't know what other word to use. Not as strict. Um, I know that in some cases, some people have, for example, they have home insurance, and then they get riders added to their home insurance, and that'll cover theft from a rental car, or they'll get car insurance, and they'll get the rider that adds rental car insurance automatically to any policy that they write up. So that they can deny and decline counter insurance, which is grossly overpriced. It's all commissions to the car rental agency that sells it to you. But travel insurance, there are times where, like for example, you can get life insurance through an insurance broker, and you can get an overriding rider to add travel insurance to that policy automatically. And it might be $500,000, and it might have evac insurance and whoever knows what. My concern is that if they disembark you in a foreign port, it would cost a lot to get back home. Can you imagine? You get kicked off a cruise ship. It's a Tuesday afternoon at 4 o'clock, and you're in a foreign country, and you're on the pier, and you've got your baggage with you, and that ship won't let you back on the ship, and they're not going to give you a refund. And now what? Yeah, exactly. The first thing you're going to try and do is probably find a hotel for the night. That'll cost you an arm and a leg because you don't have an advanced reservation. And depending on what port you're talking about, you might find that you're in a place that really doesn't have much in the way of hotels. They're all resort hotels that are pre-booked by resort passengers. Oh man, yeah, not good. God help you if you're in the middle of downtown Nassau. You're going to want to get to Paradise Island ASAP and pay whatever you got to pay to find a place. I can imagine though that if it was Jennifer and I, we were stranded like that, I would immediately get my phone fired up and get on the internet, and I would book a room on the internet, and rather make local phone calls. But of course, I would be on the internet obviously for a flight out, depending, just. I mean, that's not good. Sandy Robinson, hi, Bruce and TV family from sunny Medicine Hat. I'm still home from the hospital. I have a follow-up doctor visit tomorrow for my healing broken leg. You are finally back where you belong. I'm so glad to hear that you made it back to Medicine Hat, to your house, and I sure hope that you are improving. And I don't know if you're doing therapy. If you are, I hope it's happening or soon to happen, and that'll work for you too. Oh man, this is good news to get out of the hospital. Tim Bowman, Sharon, check out an annual plan with repatriation coverage. It's not that expensive with large limits for the coverage. We use Alliance. Sharon, Tim Bowman, good to know. Thank you. Karen T and Hybris and Jen from Killdeer, Illinois. Hubby and I finally were better from COVID. Finally. We felt crummy for 2 weeks after 5 vaccinations. 50 degrees up here. Gas is $4 a gallon. Welcome, Karen. Glad to hear you guys getting better. Jen and I have been so fortunate. We have not run into any kind of a major illness from COVID. We've had, I can't remember how many shots I've had. I think I've had 3, or if I had 4. 1, 2, 3 here. I can't remember. I honestly don't know. I get them wherever. I think when we get back to Calgary, we get another shot. Yeah, unbelievable. We've been so fortunate in that regard. Let me tell you some news. What's going on in the cruise world? By the way, thank you for these thumbs ups, you guys. I think we have 38 thumbs ups, and we have 38 people watching. That is unprecedented. In the YouTube community, when you have just as many thumbs ups as people watching, the YouTube analytics computers go crazy. They are not used to that. They're used to about a 10 percentile rate of participation. You get sort of 500 viewers and 50 thumbs ups, that kind of thing. But then we do ask for them all the time. So thank you all for helping us out already with these thumbs up. News today from Cunard, out of Southampton in the UK. Apparently, upwards of 3,000+ passengers showed up in Southampton for their transatlantic voyage from Southampton to New York. Departure, I think, was today or yesterday. They get to the terminal, they go through all the check-in stuff, and of course, the cruise ship, has to unload all the passengers getting off the ship from New York into Southampton, and then they're cleaning the ship and getting ready for the next load. Well, apparently, an announcement was made by Cunard. The transatlantic voyage is canceled. She's canceled. There is no transatlantic voyage. It won't be tomorrow. It's not the day after. Canceled outright. And then they announced that the return trip from New York back to Southampton is obviously also canceled, because if the ship can't leave Southampton today, it's not going to be in New York in 6 days to come back. So 2 cruises canceled, of course, back to back. And the story goes that we're dealing with an engine propulsion problem. And the big question on everybody's mind probably at Cunard is this an issue inside the vessel that we can repair in the engine room, or is this an issue outside the vessel underneath that we're going to have to get the ship into dry dock? What is the story here? And oh man, what a mess this is. Let me show you a couple of images here, what I have. Here we go. That's a shot right there of the Queen Mary 2. That is the largest ship that Cunard runs right now. Here's another shot of the QE2, Queen Mary 2, pardon me, the Queen Mary 2 from the back end. You can see how many of those loungers are out there, how wide this ship is. It's a big ocean liner. It's a real ocean liner. It's not just a cruise ship. This is a real deal ocean liner. And here's an overhead shot here. You can see all the loungers on the back, and then in the middle area there, and then the loungers up at the front there. Just a ton of these. This ship is I believe 1,100 feet long, 150 feet wide. It's big. And the problem is, if you want to bring this massive behemoth into a dry dock, you're not going to find in every single port of the world a dry dock that can handle this size of a massive ship. I mean, the Titanic is nowhere near as big as this thing. Most of the Carnival fleet are 800 and 900 feet long, not 11, 1,200. This is a big ship. So she's going to need a special dry dock location to be serviced. And the question is, where is this going to happen? The interior of the ship, of course, is absolutely sumptuous. I mean, just beautiful. The phenomenal, surroundings here. I mean, look at this dining room. Look at this. There's several, at least 3 levels here of dining that I can see here. The very bottom one, we're in the middle, and the one at the very back there at the top. We're talking one huge, massive machine here. Just what's up? What's the story here? And how long are we talking about this ship being out of commission for? What kind of dollars are we talking about? If we're talking about an internal mechanical problem, maybe parts are going to be flown in on an emergency basis, whatever. But if we're talking about a 12-day cancellation, which obviously has happened here, I don't think we have a 1 or 2 day fix. But I guess I could say it this way. Let's just say the ship is repaired in 3 days. Of course, they had to cancel the New York to Southampton return, because the ship physically cannot get from Southampton to New York in time to come back to Southampton. So even a 2 or 3 day delay means 2 cancellations right there, one to New York and one back. And now we're talking as many as 3,800 per leg. That's 7,600 passengers, paying passengers, getting a refund. And apparently, the deal that has been struck, or the announcement that has been made by Cunard, whether it's a deal or not, it doesn't matter. This is the scenario. Everyone got a 100% refund on their fare, and they all got a 20% credit on top of that for a future cruise, good until sometime in 2025. And a number of passengers who were, say, New Yorkers returning, or Americans returning to the United States, now stranded at the pier in Southampton. The ship took them in and put them in their cabin for one night. So they're being given dinner, breakfast, and then they leave the ship the next day so that they can make arrangements on how to get back to New York if they have to get back to New York within the next 5-6 days. They can try to find a flight over the next 4 or 5 days to get out, or they will extend their stay in the UK for longer, and maybe, I don't know, in 2 weeks, take the ship to New York in 2 weeks. Extend your stay 2 weeks and then catch the ship then if it's running. But that's a gamble, because who knows if the ship will be ready. Right now, we just know that Southampton to New York is canceled. New York to Southampton is canceled. And now what? What happens after that? So, quite an amazing story today coming out of Southampton. This does not happen often. And you can imagine the cost to the cruise line had to have been just unbelievable. Ms. M is saying, I will get BCAA for a year, up to 15 days of travel for sickness only, not cancellation of lost baggage. This is insurance. Tim Bowman, the QE2 trip was the conclusion of the RTW voyage. That's what makes it so weird. QM2, Queen Mary 2. Sharon, the QM2 Queen Mary will need that Cadiz dry dock, I think. And I'm with you on that, Sharon, because the Cadiz dry dock is capable of handling any of those Oasis class ships for Royal Caribbean, the biggest ships at sea right now. They can handle the largest ship from MSC. They can handle the biggest ship that Norwegian has. They can handle any of the big ships like this one. But the question is the Cadiz facility used right now, being used right now? If the Queen Mary 2 can get to Cadiz on her own power at a reduced speed, maybe she can get there by Friday of this week. Would Cadiz be open for the ship? Or is that dry dock being used right now on a 2-3 week renovation for somebody else? I don't know. Now, if the Cadiz facility is being used by another Carnival branded ship, for instance, Cadiz is available starting Friday, and it was going to be used by a Carnival ship, another one of the brands. They could delay that ship and put the Queen Mary in there on an emergency basis. The problem, again, another one is, what if the problem is down below, which is the reason you go to dry dock, but the repair is not going to be able to be done for a month because you need a specific part for one of the Azopods that isn't on the shelf. It has to be custom manufactured from scratch at the factory where the Azopods came from in the first place. We're talking a nightmare here. We're talking a potential nightmare, because this ship, if it cannot travel at its regular speed across the Atlantic, it can't make the scheduled New York Southampton dates. You're going to have a ship that can't sail on the transatlantic route. How are you going to book it up for any other routes? Because cruise lines need months to fill up ships. We're talking some serious dough here. This is really serious. We're talking millions upon millions upon millions per segment that are lost. And I wonder about that. So stand by when we know more. I might be talking about this story next week with even more detail, because at this point it's all what if, what if, what if. I don't know. I'll tell you. Number 40 on the like button says Stephen Butler. I was airing up a tire on the car, tuned in late. It's a beautiful day in Northwest Arkansas. Welcome, sir. Kirk Brunson. Hey, Bruce, I'm busy at work. I got to catch the repeat here. YouTube, Facebook channel for Kirk Brunson, folks. Check it out. Sharon, number 41, thumbs ups now. The Tom Seaver number, Bruce. You have reached the Tom Seaver. And so we're on our way to 100 thumbs ups, one at a time. And we're into the 40s because of you guys. Thank you, everybody, for hitting the thumbs up button. If you can do that, let me know. Now, I was reading an article today about cruising, and it reminded me of the first time I ever went on a cruise. And it might, what I'm going to talk to you guys about, might bring back some memories for you folks, but also for those of you who are not frequent cruisers or have never been on one or that kind of thing. What I'm going to talk about right now might surprise you. I don't know if it'll horrify you, but it'll surprise you about cruising. Cindy B is here. How you doing, Cindy B? Welcome to the show tonight. Welcome to this channel. Hi, Uncle Bruce. She says, number 43 thumbs ups. Thank you, my dear. Cindy is from my other channel, Stock Markets with Bruce, and it's great to have you coming by to say hi. I'm glad you're here. Let me tell you about 22 things you have to think about if you're going to go on a cruise. Now, I will admit that a few of these right here are not strictly cruise related, but nonetheless, when people say, well, I've always wanted to go on a cruise, but I don't know what it's like. What should I look out for? What should I think about if I go on a cruise? Well, one of the things you have to think about is getting heartburn and acid reflux when you're on a cruise ship. And the reason for that is you're going to become a glutton. I can tell you right now, even with the latest cutbacks that cruise lines have made, you are not going to be hungry on a cruise ship. If you think you're going to be underfed and you're going to be hungry on a ship, don't worry about it. They have plenty of food for you, and you'll be able to find food everywhere. But what will happen is you're going to make the kind of food decisions that you don't generally make when you're at home. And in the case of cruising, when you're on a cruise ship and you're at sea, you're not going on to shore, you're not part of a cruise expedition or a tour, you're on board the ship the whole time, you're going to find one way to pass the time and enjoy yourself. You'll pop by the pool deck as you're just going for a little stroll on the ship to stretch your legs, and you'll find the pizza parlor section where you can just grab a slice of pizza anytime you want and chew away any way you want. Or you'll find over here the hot dogs and the bratwursts over there. You may find that you're passing by the buffet area at 1 in the afternoon or 3 in the afternoon, and you just pop into where the dessert section is and you grab a little parfait or something like that. You make your own little ice cream on the ice cream machine, depending on what cruise line you're on. There's all kinds of ways to glutton up, and heartburn and acid reflux is on the rise for older passengers on cruise ships. Make sure to bring your Tums with you, your Pepcid AC or whatever you use. Stay ahead of that. Of course, along with eating too much, you get the other side effect, diarrhea. All of a sudden, you are finding that there's action down below that you generally don't have because of the kind of food you've been eating after 3 solid days at sea. You have been just enjoying everything they've thrown at you. You're into the seafood you hardly ever eat. You're into meals that you generally don't enjoy or generally don't get to eat. You're into certain kinds of foods, whether it's Mexican food, Japanese food, Italian, you name it. I mean, it just goes, you're going to get it all, and you might have the diarrhea problem. The other one you might run into is what they call the constipation problem. Nothing's moving down below. You're loading up, and nothing is happening on the other end, and now you have to deal with that problem. Be mindful. The trick here, and the lesson to be learned for those of you who are newbies in cruising and holidaying in general, really, if you're leaving North America for a foreign country, or you're leaving your comfort of your home and you're going on a cruise ship, you're going to be in international waters. You may or may not have an easy time to get your hands on the kind of meds that you like to have when you're at home. You might find that you don't want to have medication that you're not familiar with. My suggestion is before you leave the house, you make sure to bring with you the Tums you need, whether you're going to suffer from diarrhea or not, whether you're going to suffer from constipation or not. You're going to have the meds with you just in case, because I have news for you. Depending on where you are, in some cases, you're into European destinations. You want to buy certain medications that you can buy at your local, drug and convenience store in North America. You can't get that in Europe unless you go to a pharmacy. And some of these pharmacies have strict hours. Some of them have very, very high prices. And you may want to be careful about that, because you'll be shocked at how much you have to pay for what you get at home for cheap over there. Other issues to think about as a cruiser: if you're in the Caribbean all the time, you're going to be in a Caribbean cruise and head those shore excursions, or visit the Coco Key private island that Royal Caribbean has, or you're going to visit Castaway Key for Disney. Sunburn, kids, the sunburn problem. Oh my. People don't think about this. They think, oh, I'm on a cruise ship. It's going to be great. I'm going to eat great food, see shows, go into the casino. But they forget that from about 7 in the morning until about 7 at night, the sun is out, and it's way up there, straight up, especially if you're in the Caribbean and into Curacao and through the Panama Canal. You're going to get fried, buddy. You're going to get fried bad. You better be on the ball. Bring a hat. And I don't talk about a baseball cap, because now the tops of your ears are ready to be fried off. You got to wear a hat with a brim on it to cover your neck and your chin here, your this area of your skin. You got to cover yourself with this, and bring sunscreen, because again, you don't want to buy sunscreen anywhere but at your CVS or Walmart back at home. Trust me. Here's something that they don't talk about, this little feature on the cruise ship brochures. Sweating. Get ready to sweat, because I'll tell you what you folks don't think about, and why would we think about this? You come from Denver, you come from Calgary, Alberta, Canada, you come from the Great Plains of the United States, and you come onto a cruise ship leaving Miami, and you're heading south to the Caribbean. You are in 100% humidity conditions. You're at sea, surrounded by warm seawater. You're talking about the humidity factor. Your clothing is going to stick to you. The minute you come outside of your cruise ship, air-conditioned, climate-controlled cruise ship, onto the outer deck, your clothes is just going to stick to you. Your glasses are going to get all fogged up, and then you're going to start to perspire. You're going to find shade in a real hurry. The good news is, if you're on a cruise ship that's moving through the water on a sea day, you're naturally creating a breeze from the forward movement of the ship. And walking the promenade deck, even in a little bit of sunshine, but predominantly promenade deck in the shade, is the way to go. With the wind hitting you, you're not going to feel it. But I can tell you, when you go back inside, you're into that 75-degree temperature from the 90-degree temperature, and from 100% humidity to maybe 40% humidity. You are going to start dripping, baby. Get ready for sweatage. Don't be wearing sweaters on cruise ships in the Caribbean. That's just not going to work for you. get ready for that. So just be forewarned. Here's another one: bloating. You're gonna have a combo of food that is not good for you. It's just you can't help yourself. It's okay. It's not your fault. It's just the way it is. But you may want to remember to bring with you some meds that will counteract the bloating factor. That'll make you feel a whole lot better and a lot more comfortable, especially at bedtime. You definitely want to look into that. Blisters on your feet. Oh my. What were you thinking? You bought yourself a brand new pair of shoes before the cruise and you went out for a walk in the port city of San Juan, Puerto Rico for a 2 hour stroll in brand new shoes that you haven't broken in yet. What on earth are you thinking? Are you out of your mind? You got to take your old trusty walkers with you, the shoes that you can do anything in. Clean them up before you go, at least. But make sure your footwear is comfortable, because if you're going to go on tours where you've got to walk along a hiking path for half an hour each direction, and then you're on your feet for 2 hours looking at whatever, your feet are going to be screaming at you. We're talking in the Caribbean in the wintertime and in Europe in the summertime. We are talking blistering heat on the pavement, the sidewalks. Your feet are not going to be happy if they're in the wrong shoes. Blistering can be a real problem. Here's something, chafing. I really don't want to go into this, but chafing is an issue for those of us who have kind of packed it on and just are rubbing together in areas that we shouldn't be rubbing together anymore. Yes, chafing can be an issue. You might need a certain kind of cream to deal with that. Something else to think about on a cruise that you don't have to think about if you're an all-inclusive resort. Limited time in cruise ports. This is an issue where you think that you and your traveling companions can go from the ship to a specific area in town, whether you're walking, taking a cab, busing it, whatever, to see a certain site or two, and then you have plenty of time to get back. The problem is this: you are on holiday, so you are thinking you're in relax mode and it's all good. It's all good times. You're not thinking about the office. The problem is that in the city you're in, there are people that work for a living. They don't care about you. They have their own issues, including their own rush hour. This can happen in a place as idyllic as the Cayman Islands. You can be on a ship, come into the Cayman Islands at 8:30 in the morning on a tender, and off you go for whatever your daily your day event might be, and then you come back to downtown. You get dumped off, and the cruise ship is a couple blocks away, and you decide, well, let's go walking through downtown and look at some of the stores and do some window shopping and that kind of thing. And you let time go by and you realize, oh gee, I'm running out of time. I got to get back to the cruise ship. And you're now fighting stalled bumper to bumper traffic, and you are 5 blocks away and you're walking, and now you're running, and you're not going to make it. Maybe not make it because you can't walk onto your ship. You've got a tender onto your ship, and you were supposed to be at that port an hour before departure at the minimum. This is where passengers get caught with this. I had no idea it would take me this long to get back, because the city we're in is jammed full of people going home from work, and it's pretty bad. Yeah, be careful. Another one that you don't think about, certainly you're not going to get told about in the brochure, is a busy port, a place that is really, really busy. It's a combination passenger port and a container ship port. You've got transport trucks coming and going. You've got all kinds of heavy equipment everywhere. You have diesel fumes going up into the air. It's not a pleasant, idyllic island destination getaway place. These brochure pictures you saw, they're lying. They're lying. They're not showing you how nice it is. Not nice. You're not in a place like this. No, 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 no. You're in an industrial compound place that is not pleasant to be in whatsoever. No, you're really shocked at the cruise line dumping you off in an industrial type place. I mean, here at least in Marseille, you've got cruise ships and only cruise ships over here. So at least you don't have that issue. But even so, look at the distance between the first ship on the bottom right and the ships over on the far left. We are talking a couple of miles in distance, way the heck over there. You're not going for a leisurely stroll around here to enjoy yourself. Keep that in mind. Busy ports. This has to do with your food, weight gain. You might notice that if you're on a 12 day cruise, the last 3 days of your cruise, those pants of yours are just not feeling so good anymore. They're getting harder to put on every day because you have been packing it on, baby. You're 5-10 pounds heavier than when you got on the ship. And you feel it in the midsection. You feel it bending over to get your shoes tied. We're talking issues. You've got to watch yourself when on a cruise ship. Here's something else to think about. Chair hogs. What in the heck is he talking about with a chair hog? Well, if you're on a ship like this and it's this quiet, you don't have a problem. There's hardly anybody on these chairs, lots of room. But if you're on a cruise ship where it's packed with fellow passengers, you got yourself a problem. Houston, we got us a problem. There's no problem here on this picture. This is I think a still promotional picture. But when you're on a cruise ship and it is packed, jam-packed to the rafters with like a sea day, nobody can get off the ship. You're all on it. All 5,000 of you are on the ship at the same time. There are not 5,000 loungers available. There might be 1,500, but not 5,000. So all of a sudden, there are people who put towels and personal items on a chair to try to hold it. And they go off to the buffet and have a 1.5 hour leisurely lunch. And then they come back to their lounger expecting it to still be there. And then they're going to continue suntanning themselves. All you wanted to do was lie down in a lounger for 20 minutes, check some email messages, and be about your business. But there are none available because a ton of these are held by chair hogs. This is something that resorts generally don't run into. Another thing you got to worry about, this is not exclusive for cruise ships, hangovers. Be careful in the hangover department. Let me tell you, the hangover issues can be severe. And if you have a rough day at sea, and you got a hangover to boot, oh, life is not good. Oh, no, no. It's bad enough to have a hangover, but to have a hangover on a rough sea day, oh, no, 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 no. That can't be. That's just not good. No, it's just not good. And Larry Blake, by the way, thank you, Larry, for number 44. Louise, if they limit the food in the dining room, I'm bringing food from the buffet in there, like salads. Jeannie, celebrity is my favorite lunch, a pasta bar. Yum, I love it. Louise, oh yes, I bring my Nexiums, Tums, Imodiums, and every other thing. JNS Adventures. Hi, everybody. Sharon, plus you might have trouble communicating if the pharmacy is located in a country where you don't speak the language. Been there, done that. Louise, I've seen cruises with an extra pair of glasses. Oh my God. JNS, I have to use SPF 50 and a wide brim hat at every port. Louise, I had to buy some after sun gel on a cruise ship after one sunny day in Canada. Sharon, the flip side of sweating, pack a lot of layers for Alaska because even in the summer, it can be cold. Stephen Butler, West End Development Corp, they developed the Royal Dockyards in Bermuda, is expecting a banner year for cruise ships in Bermuda. Weather kept some from stopping during the winter, should be okay now. Sharon, Stephen Butler, taking the ferry from the Royal Dockyard to either Hamilton or St. George is inexpensive, and it's a gorgeous ride. Sandy Robinson, foot and ankle swelling is a byproduct of the heat and the food. Be careful. Laugh out loud. JJ, hey, Uncle Bruce, did you see my email about the last minute transatlantic cruise? I think I did. I think I commented on that the other day. Stephen, FLGC Mets, I agree with you. I think everyone should take a ferry ride in Bermuda. It is a nice way to see the islands, and it's very affordable. Sharon, get the phone number of the port agent and keep it with you when you're touring. If you're running late, call. It may not help, but there's a chance they will hold the ship if they know you're coming. JJ, 90% off one day before embarkation. What a deal. Sharon, Stephen Butler, love this. Louise, my food at home is about equivalent to my experience in Holland, America, except for not enough veggies there. However, the lettuce is good. Louise, there's no chair hogs on a cool Canadian cruise, let me tell you. Even the senior officers and their wives sometimes hang out there. Rocky Grasso, back to cruise insurance. Cruise line offers at very limited ends, fewer offers, and drastically lower coverages. I used Alliance to supplement what the line provided. I bought $500,000 for emergency medical transportation. Very smart, Rocky. Very smart move, without a question. All right, a couple more things to worry about if you're going cruising that you might not think about on an all-inclusive vacation or a vacation to Vegas or something like that. How about getting the old norovirus? Oh my, the norovirus and cruise ships go hand in hand with each other. I cannot tell you how many times I've had to do video updates on Monday nights talking about the number of cases of norovirus on cruise ships. Once it begins, it spreads like a proverbial wildfire, and it can be bad. I have seen issues where entire cruises get shut down 3 days in. The ship returns back to where it came from with 800 people suffering from the norovirus, about to go to 2,000. They got to get them back there and get them off because it is uncontrollable, ridiculous. Other germs, of course, is another factor. COVID now, and who knows what else you can get. If you have a weak immune system, boy, are you into it. Of course, what is norovirus? Norovirus is where you get the poops and scoops, and you throw up, and or you have really bad movements. It's not good. You get fevers, chills. You feel awful. It's not good. Another issue about cruise ships, and some are worse than others, crowded pools. These cruise ships are not designed to hold 5,000 people in swimming pools all at the same time. They're not built for that. When you have a sea day, you're going to have people out there trying to get a tan, some people wanting to get a dip in the pool, and it is mayhem. And it can be very, very crowded indeed. Here's one that I think applies depending on where you stay. Cheap toilet paper. Nothing is worse than having cheap toilet paper, even especially in your cabin. These cruise lines sometimes will only offer you a one-ply toilet paper. Very pathetic move there, but you know what they're doing? They are trying to keep their plumbing from getting clogged up, and they don't appreciate it when people use twin-ply toilet paper. They use too much of it, and it gets clogged in the drains. The one-ply is much more, easily broken down by the system. And it's expensive to fix. Anthony is on the move, is saying hello all. Welcome, Anthony, to the Chalicast tonight, sir. Nice to have you here. And thank you, everybody who's been hitting the thumbs up button during this telecast. We have 55 thumbs ups already. We're halfway and more past the mark to get to 100 thumbs ups. Thank you, everybody, for this. Okay, a couple more things to think about. Cruise ships in particular, the larger ships, we have a new problem: lineups. Lineups for everything, and that is really getting to people lining up to get an ice cream cone, lining up to get a slab of pizza, lining up at the hot dog stand, lining up for the show, a comedy show, getting off the ship for an excursion. Lineups. Some of these ships with 5,000 and 6,000 passengers at a time. They can't avoid the lineup problem, and this is something you may not have to worry about at an all-inclusive kind of resort. In Disneyland, yes, in Disney World, you have lineups too, but on cruise ships, oh, they're everywhere, no question. How about this one? Seasickness. Oh, my. Some people just can't handle the calmest of seas. Others, they can handle the ship, but they can't handle the tender, the lifeboat that you get into to get to shore. I'm one of those. I don't like the bobbing up and down in the tender. Oh, I hate it. I hate it with a passion. Seasickness. Expensive essentials. I touched on this earlier. If you don't bring your stuff with you from home, if you don't bring your sunglasses with you, what were you thinking? If you're not bringing your Vaseline, your SPF 50, your aspirin, your Tylenol, your Tums, your whatever medications, over the counter stuff, if you're not bringing this stuff and you got to buy it on board a cruise ship, I mean, bring with you a full toothpaste thing. Don't bring the empty toothpaste with you. You're going to pay $6, $10 for toothpaste. Don't be doing that. You can drop a ton of money on the ships or at port stores for stuff that'll cost you $1.98 at home. That can really hurt. Be careful. The other one is itinerary changes. Look, if you're going to be at an all-inclusive resort, you don't have to worry about itinerary changes. You're at a hotel resort. You got your pools. You got your beach. You got golf. You got sand volleyball. You got the activities at the resort. Unless there's a hurricane coming, you don't have to worry about anything. But on a cruise ship, itinerary changes can happen that can blow a cruise out of the water. Think about a guy and a gal getting married. They want to get married, in Puerto Rico, or they want to get married on a Coco Key. They want to get married at, wherever on the itinerary, and the cruise ship has to cancel the itinerary. Mechanical problems, the ship can't get there. Hurricane, can't get there because of the hurricane. Rough seas, bad winds. Can talk about blowing up a wedding, completely blowing up a wedding. Oh my gosh, especially if a bunch of relatives have flown down to meet you guys on the ship and you're doing the ceremony there and then they're flying home. Oh, lordy, Lord, what a mess. And of course, the other one is the last one, missing your ship. How about that one? Don't you just love the crew, the pier runners? It's one of the things that cruise passengers who've been around a while, they enjoy very much. They're in their cabins, they're in their balcony suites, and they're hanging out, they're leaning on their railings, and they're watching the folks arriving at the last minute, trying to catch the ship before it leaves. Pier runners, and they don't always make it. Don't miss your cruise ship. Oh, no. You don't want to do that. It's bad enough if you get kicked off, if you're sick. But you don't want to miss it because you spent an extra 10 minutes at a bar for just one more for the road. Oh, yeah, that you're on the road now, buddy. You're on the road to getting home, and I don't know how you're going to do it. It's going to cost you badly. What can I say? Mermaid, have you been on MSC? I have not. Oh, Robert is in the house. Hello, all. Hey, Robert, how you doing, buddy? Pete Hoskins waiting to get coffee, waiting to get coffee. The lineup for the espresso machine. Marie, do all cruise lines keep trying to sell you more the whole cruise or just NCL? Oh, they all try to sell you more every day, all the time. Yes, these larger ships, they have these what look like long hallways down these main promenade levels with shops on both sides. If that isn't enough, then what they do is they bring tables out into the promenade where you've got to walk the gauntlet to get from one end of the ship to the other through all the tables of crap that they're trying to hustle you with. Oh, and they're hustling because they're all commissioned sales staff. Oh my, it's not good. Mermaid, I'm going on the MSC in a few weeks, and I hope you have a good time. I've got a cruise deal I'm going to talk to you about in a minute about MSC. Louise, I'm watching a new show on Monday nights at 8 p.m. now, so I have to tape it. My battery is dying. Good night. Glad your family's doing well. Great show again tonight. You take care, Louise. Mermaid Seat, never been on it, so this is my first time on MSC. Robert, I'll try to catch you tomorrow morning. Good night, everybody. Thank you, Robert, for being here. Thank you all so much who have been here already, throwing 57 thumbs ups on this program. This is awesome stuff. Okay, let me tell you about some cruise deals. I found a couple here that might interest you folks. I found these to be rather unique. The first one is an MSC cruise. Those of you who are interested in MSC. This is a cruise that departs on May the 3rd until the 13th. It's a 10-day cruise on the ship known as the MSC Poesia. Poesia, the Poesia. I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but that's the best I got. And this cruise is, here we go, is departing from Genoa in Italy. Let me show you the map, the itinerary, and the ship itself. See if I can get this to pop up over here. I think I have this ship right around here. Let me double check that. Did I do this right or did I do this wrong? Yeah, there it is right there. Okay. Let me take that comment out of there from Robert. Thank you, Robert, for being here. All right, here we are. You start in Genoa, Portofino, and that's on Wednesday, May the 3rd. And then you head over to Marseille in France, Thursday, May the 4th. The next day, you're in Barcelona from 7 a.m. till 5 p.m., May the 5th. Then you have 2 sea days. You sail through the Gibraltar, Strait of Gibraltar there, and you end up at the northern tip of Spain there on the corner in a place known as La Coruna, Spain, also known as Santiago de Compostela. If I pronounced that correct, probably did not. That's Monday, the May the 8th. On Tuesday, the May 9th, another sea day heading for Southampton, which is Wednesday, May the 10th. You're in Southampton. And then you are staying at sea for 2 more days, and you're going to end up in a place known as Warnemünde in Germany. That is the port closest to Berlin. Now, this trip right here is a bargain of bargains. Let me tell you, this is a deal. Now, here's the ship itself. The ship is the MSC Poesia. This is the pool deck here. This is what the ship looks like from the side. It looks like a very typical princess kind of design. This could almost be a carnival if it had the whale tail on top of it. Here's the back end of this ship from Panama. If you take this cruise for 10 nights, the inside room on this ship will cost you $249. $249 for a 10-night cruise inside room. That's $24.90 a night per person, folks. You can eat that much for breakfast. If you want to take an ocean view, $319. $319. How about a balcony 10-night balcony cruise from Genoa to Warnemünde? $429. $42.90 a night per person. What a cruise this is. What a deal. How about a suite? $1,549. That isn't much of a bargain there. That's a little more expensive than balcony, but $429 for a balcony. Hello, thank you very much. Not a bad deal, I would say. And if you travel to Europe and you're in Italy for a week or 2 already, now you catch the ship in Genoa, come around Spain, Gibraltar, Straits of Gibraltar, all the way to just sort of short of Berlin. Head into Berlin from there. Train ride will take you half an hour. Enjoy Berlin and Germany itself, and then work your way home from there. Man, what a nice way to break up a land cruise with a cruise, a land holiday with a cruise, and then a land holiday again. Man, oh man. If you're a backpacker, you can imagine you're a college kid. You got 10 days, for $249 for an inside room. If you're going to rough it in an inside room, the two of you are paying $50 a night in an inside room. Do you care about tipping and stuff? You don't mind paying that. You're eating food, relaxing for 10 days, got some ports of call on the way, and now you're back and backpacking again, and away you go. I mean, talk about a nice break for a holiday in Europe for the summer. Now, the second cruise I found, ironically, is on this ship right here, the Queen Mary 2. I found a cruise on the Queen Mary 2 that is a bargoon, and I thought I would show this to you. It's basically from Southampton to New York, of course. Actually, it's New York to Southampton, pardon me. New York to Southampton. So you're in the U.S. and you want to head to Europe. You don't want to fly over. Why don't you take this 7-night cruise, July 21 to July 28, July 21 to July 28, New York to Southampton on the Queen Mary 2. I think this is an okay deal. You can get an inside room for 7 nights for $736, an ocean view for $881, or a balcony for $881. How about that? $881, and you are eating every night in this room right here, and that's included in your trip. You want to pay extra, sure, but why would you want to not eat in here? Talk about this night, lovely ship to be on for a transatlantic. A suite is $29.67. That might not be the deal, but you leave New York July the 21st and you arrive in Southampton July the 28th on a straight Atlantic cruise across the ocean for $881 for a balcony. That is a bargain on this vessel. That is a deal. Very nice. Cross our fingers, hope everything's fixed by then. Okay, the third cruise that I have for you is on the MSC Seashore, the cruise ship known as the Seashore. This is a 20-night cruise, 20 nights. So I've given you a 10-nighter, a 7-nighter. Here's a 20-nighter, 20 nights, October 27th until November the 16th, leaving Marseille, France, and ending up in Port Canaveral in Florida. This is one of those repositioning cruises, but with something extra, because this isn't just going across the Atlantic. Oh, no. There's a bit more to it than that. This is why this itinerary is why this is a ship you want to consider. Now, the name of the ship is the Seashore, and here it is right here, the MSC Seashore. Lots of pool decks and a pool at the very back of the ship. As a matter of fact, here's a shot of the very, very back of the ship, and you can hang out over here and look out over the tail there. What a beautiful view. I shouldn't call it the tail, it's the aft. What a great way to go there. How about the lobby and the atriums? Look at this. Oh my gosh. Beautiful, beautiful vessel. You're hungry. You're eating in many restaurants, all kinds of restaurants with all kinds of views and menu selection and everything else. And of course, here is where you start from. You start from Marseille, France. So you know what? If you were you're in Europe in September or October, plan to get here for October the 27th and get on this ship. And you're going to end up in Fort Lauderdale on November the 16th. Fantastic. Here's your itinerary on this vessel right here. You get on the ship Friday, October 27th. And Saturday, the 28th, you're in Genoa in Italy. I'm going to double check. Here it is, the map right here. Okay. So you're going to start in Marseille and head to Genoa. And then you're going to be back to Marseille, by the way, on Sunday, the 29th. Monday, October 30th, you're in Barcelona. 2 days at sea, and you end up in Santa Cruz, Tenerife in the Canary Islands. The next day, Friday, the 3rd of November, you're in Lanzarote, Canary Islands, the other port there. And now you're crossing the Atlantic, and that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days at sea. That's from November 4th to November 9th On November the 10th, you end up in Saint Martin. Fantastic. You're Sunday, the 11th of November, you're on Tortola, British Virgin Islands. Sunday, November 12th, and Monday, November 13th, you're hanging out in San Juan, Puerto Rico. You got an overnighter. All kinds of neat stuff to do there. Enjoy San Juan, Puerto Rico. Tuesday, November 14th, a sea day, heading back to Wednesday, November 15th, you're in Miami. And on Thursday, November 16th, Port Canaveral. Now, there's a lovely way to take a journey on this ship right here to almost 3 full weeks to come on back to the U.S. and enjoy all this ship has to offer with wonderful weather. You're going to do the South Atlantic trip, so it's going to be warm. And watch your diet. You're going to be eating like crazy. There's Marseille. There's San Juan, Puerto Rico. The old fort that you're going to go by and the cruise ships in the background there. Oh, man, that'll be a heck of a cruise. Now, how much is this baby going for? Here's the reason I'm showing you this deal. 20 nights, okay? Inside room, $709, $35 a night per person. Hello. Ocean view, $929. It's still only $46 each. Balcony, $1,129 for 20 nights. That is almost 3 weeks for under $1,200. We're talking less than $400 a week for balcony here. That is pretty nice. That is a pretty nice price for a relatively brand new cruise ship. Getting a balcony room would be the way to go, and definitely enjoying this cruise. That's a neat itinerary too. I think that's a really cool itinerary, and lots of downtime to relax, and you end up in Port Canaveral. Thank you very much. Way to go for sure. Anyway, there's 3 cruises for you that I came up with today that kind of covered a little bit of everything. A 10-day cruise, a 7-day cruise, 20-day cruise. Not too bad. All right. Let's see. Let's see here. Rocky Grasso, don't you miss your cruise ship because you forgot you've changed time zones? That's another nasty surprise that people get at these ports. They don't realize what the local time is. They think they're on ship time. They see the local time somewhere downtown. They think they have another hour. They don't. The ship is leaving on ship time, I think. That is a common problem. Captain Stable, Bruce, do you have any experience with leaving from the ports of Whittier or Seward in Alaska? How difficult, expensive, and far from Anchorage? I do not know. I don't have that info directly. I don't know if anyone here can answer that question. Maria, that's a great deal. Where do you look for deals? Cruise Critic, Tim Bowman, we departed from Whittier last summer and are disembarking there this summer. Gonzo Cruiser, taking my first Princess cruise to Panama in November. Any experience with Princess? What can I expect? Good 4.5-star cruise line. Good staff. Lots of food options, especially restaurants. I found that I enjoyed Princess. Sharon, I need to run. Thanks for a great show and best of luck on your travels back to Calgary. Thank you, Sharon. I'll see you next week from Cowtown. Maria, swanky. Marie says that's a nice ship. That's a nice swanky ship. Yeah, I can't answer the question about Seward and Anchorage. I can't answer that question. The deals. What I do to find deals, I go to vacations2go.com. And then I just start scouring for different kinds of cruises. I check out hundreds and hundreds of them, and then I put together 3 or 4 that I kind of like. They kind of appeal to me. And I'd then pass them on to you and say, here's something to think about. But there's so many potential ways to go on a cruise. It's endless. By the way, we have tonight 61 thumbs ups here. Going right now. 61 thumbs ups are in here. There's 42 people watching. So you know what this means. I've been yapping for over an hour now, and folks come and go, which is typical. And they hit that thumbs up button for sure. They help us out. If you're watching and you can hit that thumbs up button before I end the show, please help us. That would be great. You rerunners out there, I know you're there. You're going to hit the thumbs up button for us for sure. We always get over 100 because of you rerunners. And I thank you all so very, very much. Here's a comment from Tim Bowman. For Whittier, there's a train bus service to and from there to Anchorage, and it's a pretty trip. So you can make the ship that way. So there you go. There you go, right there. Easily done. Not a problem. 62 thumbs ups and counting. Thank you all so very, very much. Listen, have a great rest of this week, everybody. I hope you stay healthy and well. I look forward to seeing you all here next Monday for the big show. And those of you those who were sponsor members of this channel and were members, I look forward to seeing you at 7 o'clock next Monday Eastern Time for members only for the first hour. And then we have the big show right here for everybody else. I'll see you from Calgary next week. And I look forward to filling you in on what's happening on our itinerary as we go forward. Gonzo is saying, I'll see you in the morning on the other channel, Bruce. Yes, you will. 8:30 Eastern Time tomorrow morning. I'll be on the air on Stock Markets with Bruce, as I always am, Monday to Friday. Marie finally figured out how to turn on notification bell. Love your show. Thank you so much. Thank you, Marie, very much for your kind words. And again, your support of this channel, as all of you do. It is so much appreciated when you're here. I really love it. Stephen Butler, thanks, Jen and Bruce. Travel safe. Yes, we leave on Saturday. We head out, so we'll be in Calgary Saturday night, and I'll be set up on Monday. I hope to see you on Monday night, and the Monday after, we will likely be in our new place. So lots of changes coming up, lots of activity, lots of stress. What can I say? It is what it is. Thank you all so much for hanging out with me here in Palm Desert for the last 5 months, allowing me to touch base with you every Monday. And have a great week, everybody. Be well, and we'll catch you next week here on Traveling with Bruce. In the meantime, Monday to Friday, you can catch me on Stock Markets with Bruce, 8:30 Eastern Time every morning, live, as we explain the stock market in plain English every day. All right, everybody. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful rest of your week, and I'll see you next Monday from Calgary, Alberta. All the best to you. Bye for now.